What's up guys, Expel here, and today I'm going to be bringing you 9 tips to help you dominate within BR Classic. As you guys know, they've actually recently, yesterday, put in the BR Classic's game mode. What that means for you is that you're going to have to play fundamentally differently because it is a entirely different game mode. Imagine, playing Blackout. If you had the opportunity to play Blackout whenever, that was the big thing. Blackout was a very different game from this game, and they're not really comparable. The issue with this is that there's some things, and we're going to go over that, some problems within this game mode that makes it a little bit more difficult than the regular Warzone game mode. So I just wanted to give you a heads up as to what's going on in this video. But before we hop into things, guys, it'd be greatly appreciated first that you, check out the timestamps. If you are somebody that's a little bit more impatient, you need to have everything absolutely immediately. Feel free to use those timestamps. I get not everybody has a ton of time, so feel free to check those out. It's going to be in the description, in the pinned comment, and in the video playhead. If you're one of those people that just have to comment about it, just go ahead. I get it. You have no ears and you don't know how to use your eyeballs either. Regardless, sorry. If you guys go on to enjoy, it'd be greatly appreciated if you drop the video a like, you subscribe. If you're new around here, ladies and gentlemen, I upload every single day, every single day on the channel. I'm doing my best to stay up to date with that. And make sure to turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. I also stream every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until 2 p.m. on twitch.tv/iamexpel. Come out, hit the follow button, and check out that stream, baby. And then my videos go live on YouTube at 2 p.m. Last but not least, feel free to follow me over on Twitter and join my Discord. Links down below with the rest of my social media. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's go ahead and hop on into things. Before we hop into things, guys, I just wanted to give you a heads up that there's a big chance you guys might know these tips. However, this is a very, very mode specific video, and I wanted to let you guys know how to do better within the classic BR scenery. And these tips may work for you in regular solos, but more importantly, I wanted to kind of give you a better idea on how to beat everyone else in this game mode, because it is a very, very hard game mode. So please make sure to remember that before we hop into things. And not everybody is going to know the things that you know, so don't sit there and freak out in the comment section and be like, well, I knew everything. Oh my God, I'm the best. Just calm down. Just keep it in mind, at least. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, but I think these are very, very good tips that are definitely going to help you, in my personal opinion. So to hop into things, first of all, we kind of have to go over the problems that arise whenever you play a game mode that isn't the regular Warzone game mode. The regular Warzone game mode has a lot of different things. You have the ability to call in your classes. You have the ability, to respawn and a ton of different things. You don't have those loadout drops that come from the sky in this game mode. So there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind whenever you're playing this game mode. And the first thing is, this isn't as big of a deal whenever you hop into regular Warzone, but buildings that people camp in are going to be a lot more used within this game mode. When people have no ability to come back based on the respawn system, they're going to be camping a lot more. You're going to see a lot more campers. So just keep that in mind whenever you're playing this game mode, because people sitting in buildings is going to be the death of you most of the time in this, and you're going to hate this game mode because of that. And that's that's one of the things that really makes me not want to play this. But I'm here to give you guys some content. I'm here to try and help you guys enjoy it a little bit more, because I doubt a lot of people are really going to enjoy this, and I want to make you try and at least get a little bit better. Past that, something you have to keep in mind is within this game mode, you don't have the option to put on a suppressor to basically not show up on the minimap whenever you shoot. So keep that in mind whenever you shoot your gun. People are more likely to come and push for you whenever you shoot and whenever you get into a gunfight. So if you're keeping that in mind, it might help you out a little bit more. And last but not least, the last problem that I think is really going to arise within this game mode is how fast you get killed. People are normally used to having to thirst their kills immediately, so they're going to bring it into this game mode, and you have to keep that in mind. If you go down, you're dead. That's it. Plain and simple. People will finish you because they're so used to finishing people in every other game mode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the tips that I think are really going to make a big difference in your gameplay. To start things off, I'd like to let you know that if you see an RPG, pick that puppy up. As of now, the RPG is a little bit broken. It's still doing a ton of damage, and with how fast you can kill people with it, it's going to be absolutely massive for you to carry an RPG. I personally don't like the RPG anymore. I used to tell everybody to use the RPG. It was a big deal, and if you use it, you're going to have a big advantage. It kind of stopped being like that, so I switched out and I started running an MP7 as my overkill on my classes. It's a little bit slower to switch to, But in this game mode, running an RPG, if you can get one down, that's it. They're not getting back up. They don't have the opportunity with self-revive. So keep that in mind with these RPGs. It's going to be a lot easier to get your kills than before when you were playing regulars Warzone. Now, a lot of these tips, like I said, they are going to be coming from some of my other tip videos because they are so much more useful in this game mode. So when you're playing in this game mode, you need to pick up a heartbeat sensor if you see one. All the loot you're going to get is going to be off the ground. So if you see a heartbeat sensor, grab it immediately. On top of that, you know, we're still within the same tip, but you spawn in with no weapons. So if you see a weapon on the ground, grab that puppy off the rip as well. It's going to be absolutely huge for you. Our next tip is going to be to try and get weapons with suppressors. On the same side of things, you know, with stuff showing up on the mini map and you not having the ability to have ghosts and stuff like that, you need to find those weapons with suppressors. A lot of the weapons that I like to use is like, you know, the PKM, the RPK, the P90. A lot of these weapons that you find on the ground are going to have suppressors, but it's hard to find these guns. So do your best, find the weapons, and get ahead whenever it comes to being shown on the map. If you're not showing up on the map, you're going to have a lot more of an advantage over the enemies rather than them having an advantage over you. Those suppressors are going to be huge in this game mode, and if you're just running weapons without them, you're probably going to get found and killed a lot faster than anybody that picked up a weapon with a suppressor. My next tip is something that we found out within our first, you know, hour of playing this, or even the first game. If you take a second to split away from your team, you're probably going to die. Like I said, people love to thirst in this game mode. And if you're not sticking with your team, it's going to be a big issue. So do your best to try and stick with your team and try and team shoot whoever you can to get them down. You don't have to clean your knocks immediately. And you can keep that in mind whenever you run into these battles. If you and your team knock somebody, don't finish them. Or if they're close to you, go ahead and finish them. You don't really have a point, you know, not to. But if you don't need to finish them, don't finish them. There's no reason to in this game mode. Just keep that in mind. Stick with your team. Don't finish your kills, stuff like that. It'll really come in handy as you're pushing up on different teams within the game mode. Our next tip is going to be to hold high ground as much as you possibly can. If you can hold high ground, stay above your enemies, and try and keep a head glitch, you're going to have a much higher advantage than they're going to have on you. If they're down below, they can only see your head. They're going to miss a lot of their shots. These weapons aren't going to be the perfect setups like you can get with your growl and stuff like that, where it's perfect aim and you can beam people even if you only see their head. That's not going to happen in this game mode. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to kill people because you have that high ground, because you have these weapons that are a little bit more inaccurate. You're going to be able to take advantage of that and use it to help you, you know, advance within this game mode. So keep that in mind. Keep the high ground. Try and get your head glitches and just give yourself a positional advantage over your enemies. Next, we move into our movement as well. You know, speaking of movement, let's go ahead and talk about how you need to be moving within this game mode. I highly recommend that you move slow and you do your best to not push into buildings. Unless you have a heartbeat sensor, I don't recommend going into any building. Okay, like obviously the beginning of the game when you're looting up, it's going to be one thing. But if you're rushing into buildings constantly, you're going to get caught. Someone's going to catch you and you're going to die because you're rushing into these buildings. Like I said, buildings are going to be for people to camp in. And if you move slow and you stay quiet, it's going to be a lot better. And that brings me into my next tip, which is to stay as quiet as you possibly can. Not only are you going to be moving slow, you need to keep in mind that if you're quiet, they're not going to hear you. You need to be that, you know, that crouch walker that's, you know, slowly pushing into an area, but you need to do it quietly. You need to not be making noise all the time. You need to not be shooting at everybody that you see, because as soon as you start doing that, you give away your position. People are going to all be looking at you because everybody's too scared to even shoot in this game mode. Under our next tip, I would like to remind you that if you have headphones or if you don't have headphones, just do your best to listen as closely as you possibly can. Listening is such a huge deal within this, you know, this game mode, but altogether this game. You know, within Warzone, if you're not listening to hear where people are at, you know, you're not going to always have the ability to have that heartbeat sensor. So having to listen and use your ears is going to be absolutely massive whenever you're playing within the BR Classic mode. If you're quiet and you're doing your best to just, you know, crouch walk your way around, listen to see if you can hear footsteps, if you hear any shots, you mark it on the map, stuff like that, it's going to be very useful. As for tip number 9, that is going to be to close doors behind you. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this whole mode is about being stealthy. We're kicking it back blackout style, except you can't choose your attachments. The weapons on these guns are not great. So, you know, you've got to do everything you can to stay as stealthy as you can, you know? So in this game mode, what I recommend over any other game mode is close those doors behind you. Make sure you're, you know, these tips kind of all go together and they all, you know, stick with a theme. If you're quiet and you're listening, you're going to have a huge advantage over this enemy team. Make sure you're hitting those callouts and stuff like that. But most importantly, if you need to prepare yourself to be able to hear with closing doors, you'll be put in a lot better of a situation if someone tries to bust in down below. If you're staying quiet, you'll hear them. You'll have the advantage. You can look exactly where they're going to have to push up to get to you whenever they're running upstairs or something like that. And you can be prepared for whenever they come in. But if you have those doors closed, they're going to have a lot harder time to know that you're there unless they've found a heartbeat sensor, which, by the way, those are very, very rare. As a quick little bonus tip, I'd like to throw in a couple of things that I think are really going to be helpful. I didn't want to really go past anything super, super high. But if you have someone shoot on your minimap, I highly recommend that you try and mark those people so that you can know where they're at. So you know where someone is going to be. I guess that's saying the same thing, but you know where they're at. You know where they're going to be, and you know that if you push that direction, someone's going to be over there. That's the big thing, is you need to have as much knowledge in this game mode as you can, and everything in this game mode is going to be about knowledge. Your gun skill is not going to matter in this game mode. If you're quiet and you play it nice, you will be fine. If you want to actually get wins in this game mode, you may have to camp, but you don't have to camp 100%. You can play it slow and, you know, stick together as a team shoot people, and you will be fine. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope these tips were very, very informative for you. If any of these helped you, please let me know with a comment down below what it was, or if you have any additional tips to help people within this game mode get a little bit better. I'd love to hear about those in the comments down below as well. Regardless, that is it, baby. That is the video. And if you enjoyed, please make sure to drop the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and turn on notifications. That way you get notified every single time I post a video. You can also join my Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Let's go through those separately, but twitch.tv/iamexpel. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until 2 p.m., which is when the videos go live on YouTube. And then follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links to those are down below in the description. If you ever want to get a hold of me, those two are the best way to do it. Regardless, thank you guys immensely. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Sorry for talking so fast. Peace.